is William, hopefully your favorite videographer. We are here at the Dallas Area Rapid Transit Board meeting, the agency known as DART to Dallas, Texas residents. As a service to the Dallas community, we plan to cover DART board meetings from gavel to gavel. Public comments are required to keep DART board aware of issues close to the ridership that they may not get through other resources.
Good evening. It is now 6:33 p.m., November 10th, 2015, and the Dallas Area Rapid Transit will begin its Board of Directors meeting. And the first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from October 20th. Have a motion for approval?
Approval. Second.
And the second, all in favor of the minutes standing as they are? Okay, no changes. The next item on the agenda is public comments. And general public comments will be allowed at the beginning of each DART board meeting for a total of 30 minutes. And again, at the end of the meeting, when the 30-minute period does not accommodate all persons who have signed up to speak. Individuals who have addressed the board in the past 30 days will be recognized to speak during the public comment period at the end of the meeting. During the public comment period, board members may not interact with the speakers or other board members by asking questions or offering their own comments. Members of the public are reminded that their behavior during DART board meetings is governed by the DART Board Code of Conduct for citizens, news media, and visitors. Personal attacks, impertinent and slanderous remarks, and boisterous conduct will not be allowed. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board. The green light on the podium will indicate when you can begin speaking. The yellow light indicates that you have 1 minute remaining, and the red light indicates that your time has expired. Our first speaker tonight is Mr. Willie Starr.
Madam Chairman, board members, I'm going to do my best to be brief, but please forgive me if I get emotional. On October 27th, my wife had the displeasure of riding on one of your buses, and she was denied access. She was put off. She called the 347 with her day pass on her phone, and it worked properly. She called the 400 with the day pass on her phone, and it worked properly. For some reason, main technology failed her when she got ready to get on the 501. It did not work properly, and the bus driver put her off at a spot secluded, no one else there, and it was dark. When she notified me, I went and picked her up, took her to work. I called her Miss Sanders at 214-749-3756. I explained to her what had happened. She offered her apology. She contacted my wife. She called me back and assured me that an investigation would be taking place. At the end of our conversation, I said, Ms. Sanders, I have severe trust issues. I would like to receive something in writing. She immediately told me that I was not going to get anything in writing. I told her, fine, there's options that I have, just like what you have. On November the 5th, well, later that evening on the 27th, a gentleman by the name of Anthony Craig, and his number was 214-749-3333, called me and told me that he was doing a separate investigation from Ms. Sanders. I told him fine, we talked, gave him the information. At the end of our conversation, I said, Mr. Craig, I would like to receive something in writing. He said it shouldn't be a problem. It's going to take 5 to 7 working days to get anything done before we conclude. Told him fine. On November the 5th, I called Mr. Craig and I told him I hadn't heard. I was just checking to see where were you all in the status of the investigation. He informed me that, well, Ms. Sanders said she had talked to your wife and as far as we're concerned, it's closed. I said, well, Mr. Craig, I told you I wanted something in writing. He said, okay, we'll see what we can do. He called me back 2 minutes later and said his supervisor told him I wasn't going to get anything in writing, and the only person that could get something in writing would be my wife. My concern is that I'm the one that initially filed the complaint, and the complaint reference number was 1936-650 on the 27th of October. I said, at the very least you all could do was send both of us something in writing, because we know what you say on the phone could very well be different if you ever called on the carpet about it. He told me that I wasn't going to receive anything in writing. I'm standing before you all tonight asking to receive some type of resolution in writing as to what DART outcome was. Even though you may have expressed it to my wife on the phone, I didn't go to public schools, I can read, I would like to receive something in writing from you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Starr. And while you're here, Maurice Bell, will you visit with him, please? Mr. Bell is in the audience. Thank you, sir. Okay, our next speaker is Marie Diaz.
Thank you, Madam Chair and distinguished board. I come to you, my name is Marie Diaz, I am the CEO of Pursuit of Excellence. And I wanted to spend a couple of minutes, all that I have, to explain a little bit about the Pursuit of Excellence and the MD contract. To give you a little bit of background, Pursuit of Excellence has been in business for 22 years. The last 5 years, we have made E500 consecutively in a row. We have made SMU 100 for the last 3 years in a row. So very exciting to do that. But I say that to you just not to be recognized, but to share with you that not only to be able to do that, do you have to have an organizational structure that allows you to grow and duplicate yourself to achieve those awards. You have to have best practice in place. So with that said, I am here to tell you, we terminated the MD contract because they failed to recover a default notice that was given to them in 2014. MB Transportation caused, in Pursuit of Excellence, a $100,000 loss in 2013, and in 2014 we experienced a $500,000 loss. We put them in default of their contract, and we terminated their contract because they failed to procure. So having said that, I've stood here and listened of the different types of situations that occurred that MV has put before the board. We sent, my attorney and I, the lawsuit that we are currently in. We have talked to procurement, we've talked to Madam Chair, Mr. Mohammed, procurement, prior to terminating the contract to see if there could be some sort of resolution. During this time of which we had tried to work on a paratransit contract, we believe that we did everything we could to try and salvage that relationship. You have to ask, as an MBE, what is the premise of the program? It is not to put MBEs, WBEs, DBEs, whatever the certification, out of business. The premise of the program, I believe, that DART put in place is to help grow, mentor, maybe even teach and coach their subcontractors. It is not to cause them ill will, loss, or any type of financial loss to the extreme that Pursuit of Excellence had to experience. Going into 2015, even after terminating the contract, MB is not responsive, and we've lost another $100,000. And they're not even our client anymore. So, with that said, I come to you, to the board, to ask that you ask MB to somehow resolve the outstanding issues that they have with Pursuit of Excellence without having to forego any more losses, not to mention the defamation of character that they continue to try and put upon Pursuit of Excellence.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next speaker we have is Dave Brady. Dave Brady.
DART, it done good. That was one of the comments from one of the individuals that I spoke with at the recent resolution conference. And every single individual from around the country that I spoke with had positive comments about DART and the convention. For that, all of you in this horseshoe and everyone that preceded you deserves an awful lot of credit and thanks from every one of the riders throughout our service area and beyond. The citizens that I spoke with were extremely pleased with the impressions and success of DART in such a short period of time, and this came from people throughout the nation. They were impressed with the aspects of the conference and the events, and for this, Nancy Johnson and Jack Brzezinski really deserve a pat on the back for pulling together all the pieces of the DART staff to make such a really good impression to all the folks that visited at the time. Phyllis Silver, Madonna Boyle, and I had the opportunity to attend some of the workshops and events. Be assured that we will be communicating as much information we can to the CAC in the days ahead. Let them know some of the feelings about others around the nation on DART, the successes of DART, and the things that they were most impressed with, such as the quick and easy way of their go past from the airport to the events. They're really pleased with the fact that everyone was friendly and helpful to them throughout the time period they were here. This really means, DART, you done good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brady. The next speaker we have is Kenneth Day, and followed by Kenneth Day is DeVos Christian.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Congratulations, Madam Chair. Board members, I'd like to say it was a pleasure to know you have an interest in the paratransit contract and the toll this has taken on the employees. I'd like to walk back a little bit. In the beginning, the paratransit contract, when it was first put out on the street for RFP, it was discussed about having 100% dedicated drivers. After some discussions and debate, you gave Veolia an extension for 1 year. And when you came back, you said we were going to do a 60-40 split. Hopefully you all remember. 60% of the work was going to be done by dedicated drivers. 40% was going to be done by taxi cabs. I don't know what happened to the 60-40 split, but it's eroding. In the beginning, POE had over 200 employees, not 155, over 200 employees. Last time you did a briefing, they had 200, MP reported they had 120 employees, 125. Today the report they have 117. Today, we have 6 pending arbitrations where employees have been terminated. And I'm talking about tenured employees that's pending an arbitration. For whatever reason, MD has come in with a new rule book that would help them expedite terminating employees. So that's the reason why we have all of a sudden 6 pending arbitrations. MD has engaged to send employees out of town to do work on other properties, to get them off their payroll here. That's been ongoing. Everywhere around the country, boards are having these discussions about paratransit or about contracting out to work. You have a staff here that was reported to you today of 55, which include 3 vice presidents. Vice president, assistant vice president, assistant vice president. What does that budget represent? 55 employees with 3 vice presidents that's well capable of doing that service. These contractors are here making profit off of public dollars. And every boardroom around the country is having these discussions. We started out with CTS, we went to ATC, TCT, First Transit, Veolia, now MV. They're here today, they're going tomorrow. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Day. DeVos Christian and then Mr. William Sanders.
Good evening. And congratulations. I heard the young man say a minute ago, good job, dog. Good job, dog. So he was speaking about you, the board. But the problem I got is you dropped the ball. See, because we told you there was going to be issues with MV. Now, I heard them do the presentation today, and they spoke on litigations consistent with MV. And whether you choose to believe it or not, it's on you. But the employees are suffering. They talk about the numbers of drilling from 200 to 100. And there has to be a reason for that. It's not mine about it. It's not hard to figure out. What is it going to take for us to get it right? See, you brought in a system consistent of the taxi cabs that the public told you they didn't want. They told you they have problems with them. There have been issues consistent with the taxi cabs when people have to put paper in the seats when they get in and sit down and ride. All the way they've been treated when they ride in. All when the taxi cab people are smoking and can't speak their languages. There are many issues and concerns for the people that we represent. See, I take kind-hearted to the people that we represent because that's what we do as a dog. We take care of our own. But when you put them in a position to where they don't ride dog, then we have issues there, and them issues are inconsistent with the criteria that we step forward. And I blame them on you. See, they're taxi, they're independent, and they might be riding around for that $30 voucher that they get from MV or whatever it might be. But when that Mary Kay or the independent companies come downtown, they leave the MV for that $30 to $40 voucher for that $200, $300, and then they go back and they add to the manifest of the employees because they drill the employees from 200 to 100. And when they're told they will get off at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock manifest, then they'll be adding an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours after they manifest because they got to make up for what the taxi cabs that you put in position to do. That's an issue that we need to fix because if my mother or my father had to depend on MV, I would quit this company and take care of myself. Now, consistent of the issues dealing with DART, you brought in a new individual with the accidents, and these accidents are crucial. And
I'm sorry, Mr. Christian, but your time's up.
okay,
I'm sorry.
Is there any way that I can talk to any one of you that will listen, deal with these accidents to where our employees are being charged consistent of the blind spots by these buses? Now these buses are what you brought in, but these buses to where 3 or 4 fatalities have happened. You have to be made aware of what's going on consistent with these buses and these accidents. Is there any kind of way that I can bring it to your attention, me as the union, to you as a board, to where y'all will sit down and y'all will listen to us because the livelihood of the employees are riding on that. They've been charged consistent with the accidents.
Mr. Christian, we hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Thomas said he'll look into it.
I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sanders.
Greetings to the board. My name is William Sanders Jr. I reside at 3016 Moultrie Avenue, Dallas, Texas, 75216. Madam Chair, I apologize for my telephone. It went off a minute ago. I apologize. Next Tuesday will mark 66 years since my dad went on to be with the Lord. Before he left, he instilled a lot in me. He told me, and he always said, boy, it was a long time before I knew my name was William Sanders Jr. Because I guess he didn't want that name torn apart. So he called me boy. He said, boy, I want you to always have yourself in a position whereby you will tell the truth. If you make a mistake, don't be so headstrong. I guess pride wasn't the word at that time. It was headstrong, I guess. Don't be so headstrong that you can't go back and tell that individual that you're sorry, you want to apologize. Now, that being said, last time I was here, I told the chair that I was going to be like Charles de Gaulle, I would return. Well, Charles de Gaulle didn't say that. That was General Douglas MacArthur. So I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I apologize. Now, next thing I want to say is that I still hear my people crying from day to day. What are we going to do out of all things that are going on in this world that's tearing apart human lives? It seems to me that with due respect, Mr. Executive Director, but those that are under you, evidently they don't know what they're doing. That's with due respect. I had an individual to tell me in conversation, please don't ask me any name because I promised I wouldn't identify, that Bill, we haul a lot of people. I said, hold it. You don't haul people. You transport the most precious cargo in the world, and that's human lives. And that's with due respect. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. Okay, the next item on the agenda is item number 3, and it comes from the Operations, Safety, and Security Committee, and Mr. Parazalas.
Yes, Madam Chair. Item number 3 is contract award for North American Bus Industries compressed natural gas plus parts. It came to the Operations, Safety, and Security Committee, and we make a motion that it be finally approved for this board tonight.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for item number 3, the contract award for North American Bus Industries compressed natural gas bus parts. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposes? Okay, the item moves unanimously. The next item on the agenda is the performance review. And that comes from Jim Adams, Executive Compensation and Goals Committee.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. This performance review of fiscal year 2015 goals assessment and approval of compensation under Section 4E of the employment agreement of our President and Executive Director was approved by the Committee of the Whole earlier today, and I move approval.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Item number 4, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposes? Okay, the item moves unanimously. The next item on the agenda is public comments, which we've already done. I want to take a minute to wish Mr. Stover a happy birthday again. And having said that, this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is is William, hopefully your favorite videographer. We love comments. If you don't like the way Dart is handling things, lay it out for everyone to see. If you like or hate this video, tell us. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, tell us. We even love it when you call. Better yet, like or follow us on Facebook or subscribe to us on YouTube and get instant notices of all our videos the moment